political. Lucky. Right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Rogers.
Thank you. This is I love talking in the Bearpit, actually, and Steve Perry's here. And last time I did this was actually with the wonderful Speaker's Corner.
Bristol Speaker's Corner.
Bristol Speaker's Corner. It is actually a great opportunity to engage with people. It's quite tough on the voice, I have to say, and I also am aware that people often find it difficult to hear what's being said. So if people at the back could wave and say, yes, I have heard you, then that would be helpful. Yes, so there is, it is pretty good. Right, well, I'm Jon Rogers. I've been a councillor in Ashley Ward now for 8 years. I've been a political activist for about 11 years now. I've been a GP in the city for 30 years, and I came to Bristol 40 years ago. So I'm an old man, certainly compared to the rest of them. I brought up a family here in St Andrews, in the ward, and I've also been the councillor there for been the councillor there for 8 years. During that time, we've seen a lot of changes. Ashley is one of the most diverse wards in the city. We have the problems that are in the street. Some of the problems when I first arrived in St Paul's, we had a lot of drug dealing, a lot of problems there with antisocial behaviour. That's a lot less now. It's a lot better in St Paul's. There's a lot of nice, some really good improvements there. I'm a trustee of Full Circle, which is looking after young people. It takes young people on holidays and so on. It's been going for 30 years in St Paul's. Been involved in getting the school there improved. That's Cabot Primary and St Barnabas School. Been involved in getting the 20-mile-per-hour limit into that area. Been involved in getting the Malcolm X Centre funding. Been involved in getting the Learning Centre, saving the Learning Centre from the cuts that the Green Party were proposing. The Green Party in their last budget wanted to save £200,000 by cutting the adult learning service in Bristol. It was for a very good cause. It was for homelessness prevention. But they didn't realise that the Liberal Democrat administration had already put aside £1 million for homelessness prevention, so we could use that. The next part along is St Agnes. I've been involved in St Agnes for 11 years. When I first arrived there, the park was very run down. The park had a lot of drug dealing going on, a lot of antisocial behaviour going on there. We've now got a fantastic adventure playground. We've got a fantastic park. It's used all through the week, all through the weekend. Lots of people use it. You just have to go there. The wonderful galleon that's there, the sand pits for the children, the skateboard ramps which are there, the high altitude climbing frames, the zip wire, all those things are new and they've been introduced over the last 8 years. The next along we get St Werburgh's. St Werburgh's is also a fantastic place. It's quite different from St Paul's and St Agnes. It's got a different feel, different vibe. It's a lot of small streets, a lot of residential streets, but it's also got places like Narrowways, which is a wild, open space right in the middle of the city. We've also got the City Farm, which has got, in fact, got babies there now at the moment, worth a visit. We've got the eco homes, which are there. We've got St Werburgh's Nursery. I'm a governor at St Werburgh's Nursery. It's been good to welcome Rob, the Green Party candidate, who became a governor there last year. I've been a governor there for 6 years. It is really good to welcome new people onto the Board of Governors. If you haven't got anything to do, then get involved with your local schools. The local schools need local residents, local people to get involved and say, look, well, this is what we want for our children. Our children are the most important thing. And I say that as someone who's just become a grandfather. I became a grandfather 3 months ago. My daughter gave birth to a lovely son called Max. And it is what I want to see him grow up in a beautiful city where there's jobs, where there's schooling, where there's education, where the streets are kept clean. All those things are things which I can influence as a councillor. Next up the hill comes to Montpellier. Montpellier is a really diverse thing, called Bohemia. In fact, I think it was one of the newspapers said it was one of the best places to live in the country, and they're right. Real mixture of people. We've got some fantastic festivals that go on there. I've been involved in helping with the parks, Montpellier Park, St Andrews Road. I've just helped get residents get £2,000 to sort out some of the antisocial tagging that they've got in those streets. I've also been involved in Albany Green. Albany Green has been neglected for so many years. It's got very run-down climbing equipment, which was put in 30 years ago, which is slowly broken and been removed. I've been involved. I've successfully bid for £50,000 from the council to get improvements to the Albany Green. Next up, the other thing that's happened there is the 20-mile-per-hour zone. I was in charge of transport on the council when we introduced 20 mile per hour along much of the inner city areas of Bristol, making it safer to walk and cycle for people, making people feel like people are more important than cars, which they are. I also introduced the cycle path, which goes from just across the way here, all the way up through St Werburgh's, right up to Stoke Gifford, mostly off-road now. I was the person who introduced the bicycles, which are just painted on the roads. The bicycles, the council, the Department for Transport said that you can't paint bicycles on the road. And we said, yes, we can and we will. We do not have to listen to the government when they say something we don't want to hear. I'm perfectly capable of standing up for the citizens of Bristol and the citizens of Ashley. And finally, where I live, which is in St Andrews, and there a lot of it has been about making sure that the park is looked after. There's a lot of things happening around St Andrews. We've got the Gloucester Road, one of the most thriving streets in the whole country. A lot of independent traders, which we're trying to protect and encourage. St Andrews is threatened at the moment by residence parking, as is some of the other areas of the city. The mayor wants to introduce residence parking whether people like it or not.
I like it!
I know. This man here likes it. He and I have had lots of discussions about residence parking. And I like it where residents want it. Where residents don't want it, then frankly, they shouldn't have been forced and imposed upon them.
You were our greatest ally, John.
Because you wanted it. I wouldn't do it if your residents didn't want it there.
You know there's more at stake than that.
So anyway, and St Andrews has been one of the jewels in the whole area. The beauty of St Andrews Park has been for example, the tea garden. What was there originally was an old, smelly ice cream van right in the middle of St Andrews Park, and lots of residents said it makes a lot of noise and it's very smelly. It makes a lot of noise and it's very smelly. So we put water and electricity into the centre of St Andrews Park, and for the last 7 years we've had the pleasure of the tea garden run by Faye. We've also got a brand new park area, the school. We've got the only paddling pool in Bristol. The only paddling pool. Is that a disgrace or what? Why isn't there a paddling pool there for the kids to play in when the weather's good? They wanted to close the paddling pool down because it cost too much to maintain. I said no, and they didn't. So don't think that it doesn't matter who you vote for. It matters an awful lot who you vote for. You can vote for someone who talks a lot, or you can vote for someone who does a lot. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Rogers.